All right, guys. Well, my name is Steph Perez, and I want to welcome everybody here. So this is our Mentoring Millionaires live session brought to you by Zoom. I'm just gonna, share a little bit about my story before we get into things. This isn't your standard opportunity briefing or call. You're going to learn about mentoring millionaires for sure. You're going to learn about our community. You're going to learn about what we're so excited about. You're going to learn about, why this was created by Val and Tracy. And you're going to learn why I came on board so quickly when I first was exposed to this. And what I want to do first is kind of just share my story just for a few moments. Because I think it's so important to understand where people come from and how they've been able to have success in the industry, because it just might help you, with wherever you might be in your business and your life right now. I run across people every day, in different phases and in different places in their life. And it's always neat to kind of hear why people come to this industry and what it is they're looking for. And it's also interesting to hear the kind of successes and experiences people go through as well, on this journey. As I said earlier, make sure you have a notepad, because you're going to hear things that will definitely help you transform your business, transform your mindset, and all in all, just help you get to a new level. And I hope that's why, you're here, to get to somewhere new inside of your life. Whether you're looking for a business opportunity to help you get there, or whether you're just looking for some really good information, to help you get there, it's entirely up to you what you decide to do with this information. But the reason I was so drawn to this community was I got started way back in 2007. And in 2007, I had already had 8 years of traditional network marketing experience, and I was pretty much a failure. Had been in and out of various opportunities and never had a huge measure of success. I came to the internet in 2007 because I knew there had to be a better way to really have a home-based business. I stumbled upon some people that were doing some really cool things on MySpace, on YouTube, and I fell in love with that style of business. And I realized that what I had been doing prior to that was chasing people, bugging my family and my friends, my coworkers, and it just wasn't the way that I wanted to go. When I discovered, these people on MySpace and on YouTube, I fell in love with what they were doing, because they were doing nothing more than putting out information and attracting people back to them. So instead of trying to reinvent the wheel and, get all creative and find a way around what was working, I decided, knowing nothing about making money online, that I was going to come online and do the exact same thing that these people were doing. So I grabbed my first webcam, I grabbed my first little opportunity, and I began shooting videos on YouTube. And you know what? My business has not been the same since. I went from, bugging everyone that I knew around me to take a look at what I was doing, to learning how to use the power of attraction marketing, things like my story marketing, to actually bring people to me. So just imagine, as a complete brand new person, I had people that were calling me, that were emailing me, that were going over to my website and purchasing and joining without ever even speaking to me. Like, I didn't have to bug anyone when it came to, getting someone to make a purchase or get involved in my business. And that was so eye-opening to me. I fell in love with that way of doing business. The interesting thing is, I didn't meet Val until I think like 2008, when he had another one of his programs running. And I didn't realize that everything I was learning then about attraction marketing and my story marketing, especially my story marketing, that education, that knowledge was coming from people that were actually students of Val's. In 2008, I had the privilege of being involved in that program that Val had running, and that allowed me to take my business to new levels as well as I began to have a deeper understanding of how all of this worked and why it worked. The one thing I will tell you is, if you're brand new to making money online and building your online business, and you decide to fall for the gimmicks and the fads and the trends like rotators and sitting around waiting for spillover, depending upon all these done-for-you systems, you're really going to have a long, hard road. And yes, I said that. And, yes, I hope that really wakens up some people. I really, really hope it does, because I never depended upon any of those things when I was first getting started. I truly learned how to put myself out there, attract people to me, and build my business based upon good, solid, business and marketing principles, things that will never, ever, ever go away. The power of simple communication. And that's why my story marketing and attraction marketing works so well, is that it really is built upon the power of communication and putting yourself out there first, because people do business with people, not systems, not programs, but people. You know, we keep hearing things like, you know, people don't work, but systems do. No, the fact of the matter is the reason that we have successful businesses is because we are people and we do work. We work on getting our business and getting ourselves in front of other people. Systems can only do what you allow systems to do. Systems can only do what you tell them to do. You are the main factor inside of your business. And, you know, when I decided to reconnect with Val just a couple of weeks ago, I was so excited when I saw that he had this platform out there, because I know that right now it's time that this industry get reintroduced to this way of business. We have way too many people sitting around thinking they can do nothing and make a ton of money, and then once they spend thousands and thousands of dollars trying it that way, they begin to reach out to people like myself asking, well, Steph, can you teach me what's really working? And a lot of them are shocked that it's not as hard as they think it is, if they're just willing to do some of these basic things, which is just get yourself out there. You know, so I'm so thankful that this system, this program, this community is just kind of getting back out there and re-engaging people in these simple philosophies about what it really, really does take. And I hope that we're able to save a lot of people, a lot of heartache, a lot of stress, and just a lot of misinformation and misguidance when it comes to what it really, really does take. You know, so I'm excited to share, you know, mentoring millionaires with each and every one of you. I'm going to bring Val up, and you know what? I can't promise. I don't know what he's going to say. But I guarantee you're going to walk away with a lot of value. And I really hope that you find, you know, room in your life for mentoring millionaires just like I have. Because if you have an open mind and you're really ready to take your business to new levels, you know, learning how you can be the rock star, learning how you can be the main attraction in your business, you know, learning how to really use attraction marketing and my story marketing, and just very, very simple things like video and things like we're doing right here, how you can begin having some truly amazing success inside of your business. For 9 years, I've been doing the exact same things inside of my business. That tells you that it really does work. I do this full time. I have a full-time online business. I don't work outside of the home. I'm able to support my family. We're able to vacation, do a lot of really cool things. So I'm telling you, if you listen to this and you embrace what we have going on inside of this community, you know, you just might be able to make that happen for yourself as well. So everyone, open up your minds as I introduce you to Val Smith.
Steph, thank you so much. It's a real honor and treat to be here. Tasha, great to see you in Australia. I'm just looking at some of the people here. I've got some guests on from Australia all over the world, and that's pretty fun. That's pretty exciting. The time zone's a little bit different here. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get so philosophical tonight, but, you know, just listen to Steph. I get inspired, and you won't see me get too charismatic and evangelical because I've got my daughter sitting on my lap. This is Maya. She's a success coach at age 10. And then I've got my other daughter. It's a Chihuahua sitting right here right now. This is Lexi. So got my two daughters sitting on my lap here, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But anyhow, I like what Steph was saying. It really fits in alignment with prosperity. It fits in alignment with making money. The first step that you all need to know about in making money, the very first step outside of all the gimmicky stuff that's out there on Facebook and LinkedIn and, you know, all those interesting social media sites, everybody's hyping each other up and, you know, pulling on everybody's chains out there. The very first step to making money, guys, is giving yourself permission. You got to give yourself permission to make step one. There's nothing else. It's not about joining a business. You can't join a business if you don't give yourself permission. So it's really important to understand that when you're going for it, you're giving yourself permission. And I'm not talking about 50% commission, 50% commission on the third level. 50% permission plus commission equals prosperity. No, but I really mean it. No commission. Forget the commission. That'll come later. But really give yourself 100% permission to indulge, get in there, roll up your sleeves. Give yourselves permission to connect and make money. So many people are afraid to make money. I've got this little device. That's why I said I have to pull it up. This is really cool. I wonder how many of you have a cell phone sitting in your car right now or sitting in your living room right now. I'm amazed that so many people in the United States, Canada, and around the world haven't figured it out yet. But this doesn't have to be a monthly expense. I sit here and I'm looking out a bay window over my computer here, and I'm thinking about all my neighbors. They're well-to-do people and whatnot, but, you know, I wonder how many of them are actually making money with a cell phone. Okay, this cell phone, you can run your whole business, your whole online operation on the cell phone. this can be your greatest, marketing tool as well. Marketing tools are really important. And one of the things that I would be doing, if you're relatively new at marketing, Steph talks about my story marketing. I'd literally be talking a story up about my cell phone. Create a story around your cell phone, the power of the cell phone, the uniqueness of the cell phone, and how people can take this little electronic device and incredibly, in every which way, shape, or form, finance a fabulous lifestyle beyond your wildest dreams. And so we want to do that. Back in the day when I was doing Mentoring Millionaires, we only had a website. We didn't even have self-replicating websites. Independent distributors had to go out and build their own website. We still had 182,000 people come through the system, but there were really no tools. All it was is me becoming evangelical, doing five to six conference calls a day, sometimes 8, that we would all load into a conference call line. And the reason why we were doing that is because nobody was sitting around. I didn't want people to sit around all day and say, well, we're doing a conference call Tuesday and Thursday nights. And that's the big problem in marketing today, is that we have this great audience out there, a lot of great distributors out there. Most of them are afraid to take their game to the next level. But what I would do, I'm showing you some clues as to how I made a lot of money. What I would do is I go into a company, all right? So I get excited. People say, well, hey, Val, let's do this. And I talk to the owners of the company. I get excited about it. But you know what I always did? I don't do it now because my life's changed a little bit. But if I was a little bit younger and I didn't have kids and didn't have all the responsibility that I have in, delegating my time to other areas of my life. But if I could just hang out and be a young guy again and just have a computer in my house, you know what I'd be doing? This is what I'd be doing. I wouldn't be worried about the company. I wouldn't be thinking about the company. I would just let the company do their thing. Whatever their thing is, send out product, make sure we get paid. Send out product, make sure we get paid. But if it was me right now and I was going into a project, Tracy knows what I'd do. I'd be doing 4 to 6 conference calls a day. I wouldn't be waiting for my upline to do anything. I'd be hosting my own presentations. You know why? Let me show you some of the numbers here. All right? The bottom line is people on the internet need to know what you're doing. And so what we hope to do is take a company-sponsored video. Do you hear what I just said? A company-sponsored video, not my video. I like to do my own videos, and I would do my own videos. But the average person doesn't have their own video. So what they do is they take a company video and they put it out there on social media. But what I would do is I'd pull a Steph Perez. I'd do my own video. And I would talk about a little story about paying my daughter $200 a week to run my merchant accounts online for me. Putting her, and I'd do a demo of her on the cell phone, transferring money from my merchant accounts, which she does because I don't know how to get into these merchant accounts. I don't know how to use a username or a password. I'm pretty useless at that stuff. So she does it for me. And that's why you have kids. That's why you have kids, so they can do the work for you and you can sit back and collect the dough. But you pay them $500,000 a year to do it as well, too. So they're handsomely rewarded. So no, in all honesty, let me throw some numbers at you guys, all right? So you're watching all these people on the social networks hanging out, jamming, they're doing their thing, posting this. People are flashing money. People are putting their chicken sandwiches on there and their French fries and saying, hey, look at me, I got a $6 meal or whatever from whatever it is. But you know what I'd be doing? I'd be inviting 10 to 15 people to a call, or 3 or 4 people to a call. I would do what Steph Perez does. I'd have my own Zoom network. I'd have my own Zoom, conference room. You can get them free. You can pay $15 a month for it. And what I would do is I would say, hey, guys, why don't you invite 2 people into the room, or, I'll invite 7 people into the room, and you invite 3 or maybe 1 or 2. Let's see who shows up. And like Steph always uses the word community, turn that into your community center. But host 4 to 6 meetings a day. And that way you don't have to sit at home and do 3-way calls all day or engage in 3-way calls. So what happens if we had 15 people in a Zoom at 10 o'clock in the morning? Come in and get to leverage your time, talk to 15 people at one time instead of wasting your time getting into a power struggle with one. So you have a nice little audience of 15 people, and these can be people that like your post. Say, hey guys, don't sit there and waste your time like my post. Get into your room, let's jam. All right? And then what you do is you don't sell them anything. Don't sell them anything. Teach them a better way of life. Teach them a better way of life. Don't sell it to them. Teach them. Let me show you guys. I want to teach you a methodology that I'm using to generate $1,800 a day with my cell phone, or $800 a day, or $300 a day on a sale, or $300 a week, whatever it is. Just say, look, man, this thing's not a financial liability. This thing's a financial leveraging system. So you teach people a better way of life. And then what if you got those 15 people to invite, I don't know, 2 people back again in a couple hours? Well, it's 15 times 2. You could have 30 on the next presentation. And then if you had 30 there and they kind of got excited about what you're doing, you have 30 people invite 1 or 2 or 3 people. Let's say 30 people invited 3. You've got 90. Now you've got a form of 90 human beings that are now being exposed to your business. And you make it unique, interesting, and don't just do what the stereotypical, hyped out marketer does. Let me tell you about the company, the product, the comp plan. Now get back to people to put you on the call. I mean, I get that, but I think it's pretty cheesy. All right. I think that's kind of sleazy. Always teach people in your presentations, teach them something, authenticate what it is you do. Because that way, well, I don't know if they can really do that. Show them something. Because going to a conference call is like you got the presenter there and the guy's telling you he's a magician. But imagine if you went to the conference call and the guy didn't do a magic trick. I'd be saying, man, that's pretty fraudulent to me. That's pretty bogus, right? So I want to see if somebody says you're going to do something, give me a sample. Okay? So you could have 10 on the first call, 20 on the second call, 40 on the third call, and let's say, another 30, 37, 40, and 30s, that's 110 plus 10 on the first call. There's 120 people. So imagine if you got to showcase your business to 120 people today on 4 calls. And let's say 50 of those people came into the business. And what if you did that 5 days a week? What's 5 times 50? 5 times 50 is 250. Uh-oh. Saw something there I wasn't supposed to see. 5 times 50, 250. All right? So you have 250 people a week coming into your business. Times 4 weeks in a month. What's 250 times 4 weeks in a month? It's 1,000 people in your business this month. So if you were an MLM, what would 1,000 people a month look like in your business? That's pretty cool. That's 12,000 people a year. That's got to be paying you in multi-level marketing, 12,000 people in your downline, plus laziness, plus procrastination, plus attrition, plus not really engaging, plus jumping from program to program. That's got to be worth $17 a year at least. Right? Imagine pulling $17 a year, 12,000 people in your downline. No, I'm being sarcastic, of course. But if you took 12,000 people in this business opportunity at $300 a pop, I have no idea what 12,000 times $300 a pop is. That's $360,000 you would have made this year. And the way you do that is bam, 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 bam. Keep exploding your business, launching your business in front of people. Don't sit there and text all day. Don't sit there and try to do 3-way calls all day. Well, can I 3-way into my upline and we can spend 45 minutes on the phone, and even though I don't know what to do or say my upline's going to do a job, it's psychologically stimulating you to say yes, and then you're going to sign up under my link. Well, we don't want to be doing that, right? So the whole and 3-way calls is cool, guys. I'm joking around when I say that, of course. But I would rather be putting a lot of people in front of you or me or whoever the presenter is every day. So in Mentoring Millionaires, we put together a fabulous package. We've got all the tools, Aweber integration, you want the capture pages, you got the video pages, you got video postcards, you've got audio scripting with me in the back office. These things that I'm saying here right now, they're in the back office. Some of the things I'm saying here right now, stimulating people to say yes to evaluating your concept, right? There's also a very powerful course that's in the back office that all of you at some point need to go through in your lifetime. It's called The Village. We launched that out of Toronto, Canada in 1993, okay? It's been around prior to that, but we had people flying in from Dubai, people flying in from New York. We had meetings going on in penthouse apartments, 6-star restaurants, never mind 5-star. Some of the richest people, that not billionaires, but very wealthy millionaires were flying in, and we were selling those audios on audio cassettes. Remember the audio cassettes, never mind DVDs and CDs, little cassette tapes and a manuscript for $1,250. And then we had a $6,250 level, and then we had a $25,000 level. There were people making $70,000 a week. Some people making almost $600,000 a month. And the way they were doing it was teaching people that there's a course out there that you cannot discover in any high school, college, university, anywhere in the world. No, it's not the power of positive thinking, goal setting, garbage, and all that stuff. This stuff will help you understand every event in your life, understand why the rich will always be rich, and why people will always fail everywhere else. And when you understand these principles, you dominate and control your environment. Now, somebody said, Val, give me an example of what being a student of this course that's sitting in our back office right now, what would it look like? What could you compare it to? Okay, I'll use a really strange analogy, but imagine this. Imagine going back in a time machine, okay? And back in the time machine, you went back in the gladiator days. Okay, so now you're back in the gladiator days in the time machine. You're in Rome, and you're in this Colosseum. And all of a sudden, these guys that look like, I don't know, cavemen or something, wearing armored suits, run at you swinging a metal ball. But you have a machine gun. Who's going to win the battle? So it'd be like taking a machine gun back to ancient times. You would decimate everybody. So my point being is not to go out and decimate people, but I'll tell you, the people that understand this course in the back office, assimilate, manifest, internalize it, it's our gift to you. We're not even charging you $12.50 for it. Rhonda in Australia wrote the book The Secret based on this course. This course gives you the edge over everybody and anybody in the game of life. In conversation, if you're in a conversation with somebody in the restaurant, they have no idea what's happening to them. It's amazing because you've got the edge. You've got every strategy possible. You've got the universal mind. Steph talked about law of attraction. What does law of attraction mean? It means somebody is attracted in your life based on a frequency of vibration, of energy, a ripple effect, but they're attracted into your life. How did they come? There's something that brought them into your life. That course will help you to understand that. No, it's not voodoo. No, it's not kind of mythical. No, it's not a conspiracy theory. The stuff is real. The stuff is real. And when you know how to work with this stuff, you'd be surprised what you can bring into your life. It'll blow your mind. You know, you can get a raise in your job at work if you want. If any of you want a raise, study the course. If any of you want to be the boss, study the course. You know, if you want to attract a relationship in your life, study the course. You know, it's amazing. When you understand these principles, you've got the leading edge on everybody. So what we've done is we've taken all the tools that a lot of people brag about out there on the internet, the systems, the methodologies, but we just didn't want to be another toolbox. So what we've got that the other companies don't have is the knowledge of application. We've got that course in the back office. They don't have it. And then we've got these kind of exclusive interviews. I guess they're kind of exclusive. You could find them out on the internet for free because somebody stole them and put them up on the internet for free, unfortunately, but they don't understand the universal law. Their company's gone out of business twice since they stole the audio cassettes, or not the audio cassettes, the audio interviews. They're now starting their third company here. But, Steph Perez is one of those interviews. So, I always say life is an inside job. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And what you argue for in life, you get to keep. Anything you argue for in life, you get to keep. It'll always be your baggage. Nobody else has to buy it, right? Just like the election going on in the U.S. It's their baggage. But what you're going to discover is how the big boys and the big girls communicate and posture, how they handle their daily protocols. Steph Perez happens to be one of those people in the back office. I interviewed her 2 years ago. Wanted to find out why she's so good online. And then what I discovered is Steph is not doing all the complex stuff that we're taught to do that doesn't make money. Steph decided that she needed to come out of her shell and be something and expose what it is she's doing. And she does it through videos and she tells stories. And when we send our kids to school, what do they learn at school? They sit down with the teacher and the teacher tells stories. They read books. Storytelling is the most effective form of marketing. Watch a TV commercial. Father and son in a TV commercial. The father is telling the son a story, and we buy into it. It stimulates emotions. Our heartstrings, our heart tentacles, they're attached to stories. Why do we watch sports? Guys, there's guys here that watch NFL football. Why do you watch NFL football? Or I'm going to get off this call tonight and watch the Blue Jays play tonight. because there's a story playing out on the field. There's a story playing there, and we want to find out how the story ends. I want to find out what the score in the game's going to be. There's always a story. That's why they interview sports athletes. How was it on the field tonight? What were you experiencing? What were you feeling? What did you think about that play in the third quarter? All this sells to an audience. And that's the stories that sell TV commercials. That's the stories that sell products. So it's going to be wonderful to see you all come here and be on video with me and hang out on a Zoom call and watch me do this presentation. But it's going to be even better when you're on Facebook and you brag about something we're doing with a cell phone, or you brag about something you're doing here at Mentoring Millionaires. Steph's only been with us for a few weeks, but she's already put, I don't know, a couple $1,000s in her pocket. And that's not to boast about money, but Steph is a presence. And if she did become that presence, Steph would not have made a few $1,000s in her first couple of weeks hanging out here and being a leader and being passionate about community and involvement and engaging and getting Steph's, you know why Steph had money in her merchant account to transfer into her bank account? Because Steph was the messenger. She got passionate. She got excited about the message. All right? Anybody can go on a conference call and sell you tools, but not everybody has a story. Well, they do have the story, but it's isolated within inside them. So we were all born rich. We were all born storytellers. What's your story? And that's what you got to decide, what your story is going to be. And when you can just share little bits and pieces of it, the world is going to celebrate your presence online. And for most people, their presence online is a toleration. It's not a celebration. Every day should be a celebration for your business. And how you celebrate is engaging with other human beings. That's how you do it. That's how you like people. That's how you become connected to people. That's why Steph and I have a relationship. Tracy and I have a relationship. Some of us on this line have a relationship because we chose to engage. So I'm sharing this with you because, a lot of people will come to these calls and they'll say, well, what's the secret to marketing? Do you have a magic bullet that can make me rich? Do you have this isolated tool that I can just throw out there and the whole world is just going to get freaked out and go, oh, wow, man, I want to buy that? No, I don't think anybody really has that. And I think even if they did have that, they would find a way to screw it up. They'd find a way to screw it up until they choose not to screw up, right? So we got to give ourselves not only permission to say yes and engage, but we got to give ourselves permission to become functional business practitioners. When you go into a store and the customer service sucks, like you say that person was rude. I went back to the teller, they were rude. Or I went back to the salesperson, they were rude. It's because they're not professional. They shouldn't be in that environment. And the same thing happens on the internet, guys. So there's an opportunity here to define your skills, define who you are and your presence online in your business. And there's an opportunity to do what people are doing here. We got people making thousands of dollars monthly because they're sharing the message. These people aren't operating like secret service agents. You don't know they're out there. And so many people on the internet join something and then they think they need to be a secret service agent and don't say anything. They hide in the crowd. They don't post anything. So really important in anything you're doing, even outside of this, have a story, have a testimonial. And for all of you on this call tonight, if you like these type of calls that we do here, if you like some of the calls that we did where I really went off, post about it, brag about it, edify it. And that's what's going to bring people to you. I brag about Steph to people. I brag about Tracy to people. I'm always bragging it up about something. Bill Jackley, he got screwed by a company owner in another deal, his last deal. They forgot to pay him his commission checks. He got ripped off because that owner's kind of unethical anyhow, very self-centered and selfish person. I know them personally. But the bottom line is Bill came here, made a few $1,000s. He made a few $1,000s, right, Steph, coming out of the gate. And this is a man that hasn't had great success on the internet in the past, but he's learning very quick and very rapidly. I met him 2 years ago. He didn't know anything, really. I don't think he did. He was a fun, exciting guy, had some great jokes and stuff, but hanging out with some of us, he really defined his skills, and now he's attraction. Now he is an attraction. He's teaching people on the side, and I thank God for that because it allows me not to have to, delegate time that I can't afford to do. He's become a real, sincere, honest leader that has some incredible ideas and conceptions about marketing. So the bottom line is we've got millions and millions of people out there on the internet. I'm going to be a little bit biased by saying they should at least come here to find out whether or not they've got the skill set or want the skill set to get back out there on the internet and make their dreams and desires come true. A lot of people out there on the internet have a dream about buying a house, driving a Lamborghini, having an incredible income out there. But ask yourself this question. Those people that think that way, that want the big life and the big cash and the great material things in life, what do you see about them in the reflection that they present to you magnifies any of those things? Take a look at their worlds. Do they really represent that world? Are their actions playing out in synchronicity and harmony with their needs, wants, and desires? That's the big thing that I look at. Are people living in that hood? You know what I'm saying? If you want to be big, talk big. If you want to play hardball, come to training camp. To be in the NBA, to be in the major leagues, to be in professional sports, you've got to prove yourselves. You guys got to bust your butt. You got to come to training camp. It's not just because you spend money and you're in this business opportunity. The business opportunity only owes you two things: a product and delivery of commission check. It's up to the distributors to create the marketing. Oh yeah, the company can help and assist, but I'll tell you something, the best people for marketing are not company owners. Most of them suck. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you. Most company owners aren't that good at marketing. They're good at having big wallets, but what they do is they usually pay top leaders to come into their businesses because they know they can't do it. They'll fork out big dough. Hey, let's sign a deal. You come in here, play with us for 3 years, we'll give you $5 million. There's blank checks being floating around out there, but it's the big leader that brings in the masses. Never forget that. It's not the company owner, it's the big leader. So it's really important to learn your skill set. If you don't, you're going to get chewed up, spit out, and you're going to become frustrated, and you're going to lose money on the internet, and you're going to keep saying, why did I get scammed? Did I get cheated? Why didn't that work? I thought I was doing it right. But I always ask people and always say to me, I thought I was doing it right. I say, okay, you thought you were doing it right? They say, yeah. And I say, okay, what were you doing? Show me. And then they're stuck. They don't know what to do because they didn't do it, Well, I joined the business opportunity and my sponsor said that I was going to make money. Really? You fell for that? That's a great one, man. You can learn that in Vegas. Go to Vegas if you want to learn about uplines and sponsor support and stuff like that. The bottom line is, guys, if you don't know how to go to the bathroom by yourself, you're going to have a difficult time. If you don't know how to come to the internet and make things happen, you're going to have a difficult time. And you cannot blame anyone else but yourself. I can't begin to tell you how, people talk to me about how much money they lost. You want to talk about losing money? I know what it's like to lose over $3 million in investment programs that I thought were real. Talking about internal commissions and all. Talk about learning the hard way, guys. Not too smart here. Back in the day, a whole lot smarter now. All right? So there's a right way and a wrong way of doing things. So become educated, invest in yourself. Anyone that's new, that's watching this, you want to invest in yourself. Okay? Even if you're not using our products in the back office, I would just pay to come in here to hang out with you guys. Just to listen. Week in, week out, week in, week out. A support system, a mechanism, inspiring platform that at least tells the truth. Right? Because I'll jump on another conference call after this with some other company. We're not going to hear this. We're going to be, hey man, hey, wow, yeah, you up there tonight? Oh yeah, oh, $130,000 in the last 4 weeks. Oh my God, oh, you're amazing, dude. How did you do it? That's what you'll hear on the other calls. I'm not into that stuff. I think that's like a psychiatric ward. You ever see the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? That's what that is. That's crazy stuff. But we want to keep it real. If you can keep it real with me, I'll keep it real with you. Okay? So be very careful what you buy into. Be very careful what you buy into. Now, we do have a compensation plan. I don't know if Steph wants to show the comp plan tonight, but I imagine she probably does. But just know this, we got the tools, but now we've also, what we're bringing to the table, just in case people don't understand this, we brought a 12-step program to the table, and I say that with a smile on my face. This is a very therapeutic group. It's therapy for me. It's therapy for you. You can come here, get support, ask questions. You can say, Val, I'm in another company. What would you do? Val, I'm thinking about, developing a campaign for another product or service. What would you do? We share ideas. This is a mastermind group of business professionals that will help share ideas with you. And at the same time, you can take these ideas. You don't have to strictly focus on MM if that's not what you want to do. But I think every marketer on the internet should come here so they don't drive their car into a telephone pole. Take a driver's ed course. This is like a driver's ed course. Let us teach you about marketing. Let us teach you what's right, what's wrong, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let us teach you how to communicate, what to say, how to attract people into your life. And we'll do that, along the way. This is going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. You'll pick up some great ideas and then go back to your other programs and excel. If there's something else out there you're really stoked about right now, use some of these techniques out there. Talk to your groups. Start your own mastermind groups in those other businesses. And, I challenge every single one of you tonight that's in another deal out there. Go head up your own conference call or your own Zoom. Just bring people on and just say, hey, tonight's topic is about the cell phone. And just talk to your teams about the power of the cell phone. And tell them to focus on the cell phone. All right? Like, focus on promoting the power of the cell phone. If I was in a health and nutritional company right now, I wouldn't be talking about the health and nutritional company. I'd be talking about, man, this is the best tool for building my business in my health and nutritional company. I can reach out to doctors, lawyers, accountants. I can run a ringless lead campaign. We also have a ringless lead system. Developed 2 years ago. Canadian company's got a patent pending on it. Imagine being able to drop messages out there to thousands of people and their cell phones never ring. And you leave a really cool message in their voicemail box. Hi, this is Bob. Hi, this is Rick. Hi, this is Tracy. Hi, this is Robin. You can say whatever it is you want, and we'll learn it. We'll fine tune it. The technology is so cool, but there's so many people out there. You guys, if there's anyone on this line right now tonight, Steph, I'm sorry for talking again. I was going to put the video on, but listen, you want a marketplace? You want to become filthy rich? I'm serious. I'm not playing games with you. You want to become filthy rich. I want you to think about this. You want to kill it, as they say on the air. Hey, man, I want to crush it, bro. Let's crush it, bro. Get your 57 and paddle, man. We're going to cruise. We're going to fry the pancake. We're going to crush it, man. This is what you do. You find a place that has a college and a university. If anyone has a town with a college and university in it, talk to the young kids about turning their cell phones into a license to print money. You will have thousands and thousands of young Americans, Canadians, everybody, whatever planet world you live on, they'll go ballistic because they all want to be making $100,000, $200,000 a year graduating from college and university. You know why? Because when they graduate from college and university, sorry about this, they're going to be broke. And then they're going to want to marry their girlfriend or their boyfriend, their significant other, but they can't because they can't afford to become the couple they want to be. And then they got to spend the next damn 15 years of their life, damn 15 years of their life paying a 15-year student loan back. What a great way to enter the world of prosperity. So let's be the solution to the problem for the younger generation. If we really are leaders and mentors and teachers and good people, should we not reach out to those people and say, hey, look, I understand going to college and university is expensive. How do we know? How do I know that? You want to know how I know that? My stepson, my stepson? I have a stepson. This is my real daughter, but I have a stepson with my wife. He's 21 years old. You know what it costs to put him to school a year? $72,000. I bet some of you on this line don't work for $72,000 a year. But we have to pay $72,000. You know why? You know where he goes to school? England. He goes to Chelsea School of Arts, the #1 art school in the world. He's one of the top artists in the world at his age. His stuff's already in galleries, but he has to live. You know what you know how much it costs to live in a flat in England? It's not $1,000. We're talking where the Queen lives, dude. We're talking $5,000 for an apartment. So he splits it with 2 other people. So it's not $150,000 to put him to school, plus tuition, plus food, plus traveling Europe. $72,000 a year. So somebody better start making money. So I need you all to make money so we don't have to pay for that anymore. You guys can pay for it for me. As a return for doing these presentations for me, you guys pick up the tab and we'll be best friends for life. So if you need a story, there's your story. Say, I went on a call tonight. The presenter said, I'm picking up a tab for $72,000 with 38 other people tonight, and he's going to sit back and do the presentations. That's the fee. No, I'm just kidding. I'm having fun with you. But guys, I don't know if any of you have any kids, but raising kids is not cheap, man. See my daughter here? She goes to a private school. My son goes to a private school. That's like, what is that, $24,000 a year? So you figure that out. Who's going to pay for that? You need a lifestyle. And hanging out on Facebook and playing charades and funny little farmer games and whatever they do on Facebook, that's not the answer. Get out there, hustle, grind, meet people, bring them back to me. Let me talk to them if you want, and I'll teach them the power of the cell phone for you, and we'll teach these people how to make money. All right? And you guys can cash the check. Just let me talk. So let me talk, because I love to talk. I don't like to shut up. So, but now I got to shut up because Steph's going to kick me off the stage here with a broom real fast. I know she wouldn't do that. But anyhow, so the point being is, guys, life is too short. I'm seeing a lot of young people on this line right now. I challenge you to maximize your potential. You don't want to be doing this when you're my age. You don't want to be figuring this out when you're 53. Okay, I don't know how much time I have left on the planet, but you know what? I made it my objective that I was going to be financially independent by the time I was 35, so that when you do have young kids like this, they can go to great schools, and I don't care if Maya ever goes to college, university. I don't want her to go. You know why? You know why? She can go if she wants, but I'm not going to force her, because I think the world that I can provide as far as entrepreneurial leadership development, how the world's going to look, I think as a visionary, as I see the future, it's going to be a whole lot better that route for her, as opposed to going to get her MBA in poverty. Get a PhD in poverty. You know how many people I know with PhDs and MBAs? They're broke. And I'm not knocking that. I feel their pain. So we've created Mentoring Millionaires so that when you graduate, you get an MBA here. And it stands for Massive Bank Account. And every college, university student in America, United States, Canada, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Tanzania, Negril, Opa Schmopa, wherever they live, everyone should have a lot of money in their Hip City Pocket Bank. The greatest bank account in the world is the Hip City Pocket Bank. It's 3 inches below your belt. Every single one of you should have at least $500,000 in your pocket tonight. Maybe. Kinda. I don't know. Sounded good anyhow in the presentation. Let's go for it. Up for the challenge? So let's get out there. Let's grind. Let's help the younger generation out there. If you got a university, college, get some of those people on with me, and we'll show them how to make money sitting in their dorm rooms. We'll teach them how to draw circles on the wall, and then they can get kicked out of school for being delinquents, because they'll probably use spray paint to create circles. Well, you got to bring 2 in, who bring 2 in, who bring 2 in, you know. Mathematics right on their dorm room walls, man. It's going to be awesome. Okay, Steph, I think I'm done from that point of view. So let's show you guys a comp plan. This is a simple exercise in prosperity. Tonight, I want you to circle your calendar before Steph's wondering when I'm going to give her the green light here. I keep giving her green lights and pulling it back. Tonight, I want you to circle your calendar. Make a commitment to yourself. Make a commitment to yourself. This is your life. You've got one shot at it, I believe, because I don't want to come back again as a potato or something like that. You got one shot at it, I believe. Let's hit this thing hard, guys. Let's hit this thing, guys and gals. Let's hit this thing hard. Let's rock it out. Let's make it happen. All right. All it takes is us having the self-esteem, the strength, the courage, the desire. Take a deep breath and just invite somebody that is real to the presentation. And if you can do that, you'll be hearing ka-ching all day long. All right? All right. Steph, what do we got?
Val, I've told you over and over and over again, there's no time. I sit here taking notes, taking it all in. I'm learning. It's never too much. So you always provide so much value. And I just believe if more people looked at it that way, it's like how I always believe that we're in a day and age where everyone's so quick to jump in, jump out. They can't sit still long enough to take in information, to absorb it, to figure out what it really means and how it plays a part in their overall success and big picture. And that's why so many people are failing. And that's just the honest truth, is they're too quick to take in information that's really, really good for them. Yet when I think back to 2007, 2008, we had so many people coming online having massive success because they just allowed themselves to be. They just allowed themselves to hang out in a community like this, take in the community, learn from it, like real world learn from it. You guys, I think you would probably be amazed if I were to tell you that, there's a lot of people that, they give these rags to riches stories about how much money they've spent on courses and blah, 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 all this stuff. I can honestly tell you, I don't buy a bunch of courses, never have and never will. And I don't understand why people fall for the same courses being sold year after year after year, just with a different title. If you can just come into a community like this, really hear the information and apply the information, this is what you need. This is literally all you need. You don't need all these fancy courses telling you to go here, click here, buy here, because every single year, guess what? They're just regurgitated. They're just new courses by new people who took another person's course last year, learned a few tips from it, now put their own course in place, and guess what? You're paying another $297 or $497 for it. You know what? Instead, why not invest your time and your energy into getting out there, putting yourself out there, shooting videos, making a presence for yourself, making a name for yourself, building a brand for yourself, and just going out there and speaking to people, teaching them what you know about making money, about what you know about building a business, about what you know about building a community and helping people. That's really as simple as business is. So when I reconnected with Val, what I loved is I felt like for finally that I had a community and I had a person, I had a platform that agreed with all the views that I see when it comes to this industry. How broken we are, how there's so much misinformation, and how, guess what? If I have bad information and I sponsor Tracy, and I tell Tracy that same bad information, she sponsors Regina, and Regina has that same bad information, she sponsors Val. Guess what that does? It creates a team, it creates a community, it creates an industry of people that are just spreading misinformation because it's what they heard. It's theory. It's not what's really has worked for someone. And that's why I believe so many people, they might listen, for example, let's say Tracy sponsors them and Tracy says, this is exactly what has worked for me. Well, because she hasn't put a lot of bells and whistles on it and it seems too good to be true, they'll negate what she might share with them, go out there and learn some other theories, and without even getting success for themselves or getting any kind of results, they'll go out there, call themselves a coach, and try to teach other people how to do that when they never even got results from themselves. I see it all the time. People that jump into these training systems and now they're coaches, but they've gotten no results from it themselves. It's all just theory. This is the kind of community that's going to teach you exactly what is working. When I use the term my story marketing and attraction marketing, that's been my foundation. I teach what I know. I teach what has worked for me. And guess what? When I was completely new and I didn't have any results and I didn't know anything, I talked about where I was going, where I was coming from, what I was tired of, how I wanted out of my job. I inspired people to go someplace with me to help create my story of success. That really is how simple it is. But so many people think if you're not flashing cash, if you don't have the fancy cars or the fancy houses, that you don't have a story. And that's not true. This community is here for the person that wants to learn how to jump out there and begin inspiring people and empowering people and waking people up and letting people know there is a better way and you don't have to do it the way everyone else is doing it. And I can honestly tell you that doing marketing the way that I do marketing, I hear the stories every single day of people that were promised rotators and promised signups and promised this and that. And guess what? They never received it. And they're looking for real answers. And that's what this community, that's what this platform, that's what Mentoring Millionaires is all about. We are mentoring aspiring millionaires by giving you the real deal about what it takes to succeed. So,
hey, Steph,
yeah.
I want to add something. You brought up a really good point about regurgitating courses out there. People go learn a little bit and then they regurgitate a course out there. I got to tell you something. there's a guy out there, he's in the United States, cool guy, nice guy and everything. Talk about being smart, like the simple way to taking advantage of people being naive and innocent, really not knowing any better. You know what he did? he went into Facebook and went through the Facebook question and answer pages, like policies, procedures, their Q&A, and he turned their Q&A into a course. He literally he went and he remodified their Q&A, and he sold it and probably put about $1 million to $2 million in his pocket with Facebook's Q&A. So there's a tip for you tonight. If you want to go to Facebook and go to their Q&A page and just put your name in, just take some names out and change it around, twist it a little bit, and don't plagiarize it too much. But there's people out there on the internet that'll buy that course off you all day long if you've got this new hot course out there on Facebook. But don't tell them that it's their Q&A that you're selling them that they can get for free back there in the Facebook policies and procedures and whatnot. So I'm sharing that with you because Steph's talking about regurgitation. You know, we regurgitate everything. Even I regurgitate things that I've learned, but I definitely wouldn't have the mental capacity to sell people something on something like that. That's great. I mean, it's a great fast buck for somebody that was just, smart to outthink the average person on the internet. But you know what? Bottom line is, look for the content that you're looking for. Don't look for magic bullets out there on the internet. Don't look for shortcuts, magic bullets. Just look for simple, easy things that make sense in the game of life, in your daily interactions at work. When you walk into your workplace and you're in an office or, a work environment, like, can you at least say hi to somebody? If you can learn to communicate and say hi and do these things, we invite people back to the lunchroom. I'll host the meeting in the lunchroom. We'll talk, we'll jam it out, and ask people if they'd be interested in leveraging their cell phones or their internet connections or their modems, or, is there anyone out there that would potentially be interested in taking their electronic device, a laptop or computer, and turning that into a very lucrative part-time income, and then eventually they can break away if they want to from their 9-to-5 jobs. Because I can't imagine that anybody in this webinar tonight, in the Zoominar, call it whatever it is you want, the hangout tonight, I can't imagine any of you want to spend the next 10, 15 years of your life working in a company, even if you're making pretty good bucks. I think some of you, honestly, if I were to survey you, I think most of you would like to put maybe 10 to 15 hours a week into your business and be pulling in $200,000 a year minimum. We can show you how to do that. But it's going to take you to be here and be a part of this. If you're not going to be here and not be a part of it because you don't believe that's a true statement because you think you heard that somewhere else before, then you're absolutely right. You can go back to doing whatever it is you're doing and you'll miss out. You'll lose out, guys. So, give yourself permission. It all comes back to permission. So anyhow, Steph, just wanted to talk about somebody making millions of dollars off Facebook's Q&A in the back of the Facebook site. It's awesome.
I love it. Well, write this down, you guys, before I put the video on, okay? Since Val kind of left off with money, I'm going to start with money and then put the video on. In order to earn 6 figures a year, it takes as little as $274 a day. If you can average $274 a day over 365 days a year, okay, you're going to earn $100,000 a year. Okay, so with our opportunity, you're going to see we're able to earn $300 per transaction. Okay, I want you to speculate on that. And if you were to think about what Val talked about, a couple of presentations a day, if you were inspired, if you were empowered, if you could rally with some people and do a couple of presentations every day, a couple of times a week where you were inviting people, do you think that it would be possible for just a couple of people every day to get excited about what we have going on here and saying, you know what, yeah, this is worth my time. This is worth my energy. I want to rally with you and I want to do this. And do you think if you got a couple of people to do that with you, that you wouldn't be able to maybe double or triple that in a year? Honestly, with focus, energy, and effort. We're not talking about just treating this like a hobby, but focus, energy, and effort. Okay, the potential is really, really here. And I think if anyone can see me, which y'all can, which is why I love Zoom, you know that I'm so serious about this. The potential is here. It's not pie in the sky. It's not hype. It's all about simple application and putting a plan in action. And Val gave us that plan. Do a couple of Zooms, do a couple of conference calls, okay? Meet with people a couple of times a week and rally people around this idea. Rally people around a good way of doing business. All right, I'm like Val, I can go and go and go. Tracy, do me a favor. When the video stops, you pop in. All right, guys, let me go ahead and put this in.
Hey guys, what I want to do right now is I want to show you the most powerful, the most potent compensation plan in direct retail affiliate marketing today. It's called the One-Up, okay? And I'll explain to you why they call it the One-Up, and I want to share with you some of the dynamics as to what makes this so powerful. Number one, you get 100% of the commission. You don't have to divide it or share it in any which way, shape, or form. Number two, you can get paid on infinite sales in width. And then on the One-Up, which is absolutely remarkable, infinite sales in depth. All right, you can have all kinds of referrals generating copious amounts of money, which is going to create a fabulous lifestyle income. And I've seen people financially retire off this and definitely give their families a better way of life. So let me talk about this affiliate system, and I'll create some numbers in my head just to give you an example of what a One-Up might look like, okay? So hypothetically speaking, let's use a retail sales purchase of $399, all right? $99 goes to admin or the company for the creation of the product, running the company, websites, yada, 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 the price of doing business, okay? Number two, the $300 retail profit goes to you or goes to the individual doing the sale. Isn't that amazing? You don't have to split it up. There's no multi-level marketing. There's no tiers. There's no, 50 levels deep per se, and you get 3%, 5%, 6%, 7%. You're getting 100% of $300 in this case scenario. So it kind of looks like this. When you make a conscious decision to join a company that is retailing a product or direct selling a product through a One-Up system, it all starts with you. When you come into that particular business, you're going to be invited or enrolled by a sponsor, okay? Now, you've got your sponsor, and then it all starts with you. Now, this is really cool. This is why they call it a One-Up. When anyone and everyone, okay, remember that, anyone and everyone, when anyone and everyone chooses to become a retailer or a sales representative of that particular product or represent that company, they have to qualify in order to get jump started in that One-Up system, okay? So let's say you go out there, you're marketing on the internet, and you make one retail sale, your very first retail sale, somebody chooses to purchase the product from you. Now, the reason why they call it a One-Up is because you're going to pass that first sale up, the One-Up, to your original sponsor. Your original sponsor is going to earn $300. You are now authorized as an affiliate rep, fully qualified, ready to go. Now you can go out there and start as many pay legs or pay lines that pay infinite levels deep as you want, okay? These are all direct retail transactions. Although I talked about levels deep, there really are no levels. It's illusionary, but for the sake of visual illustration, you're going to see it as levels. It's just a direct retail transaction between you and another party. There is no downline ever, okay? So you've got you can now start a second sale. You can now start a third sale, a fourth sale, a fifth sale, a sixth sale, a seventh sale, an eighth sale. You can keep going all the way to infinity. Okay, there are no limitations as to how many sales you can create, making $100 per sale from your second sale on to infinity. Now, remember the One-Up concept. Remember the One-Up concept. What did you do? The very first sale you made, it triggered the qualification sale. They call that a One-Up. So not only do you have to go through that process, and not only did you go through that process, but everyone else has to replicate the same concept, the same protocol. So now you've got your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth sale on, okay? Now, what does sale number 2 have to do if they want to become a reseller? Qualify, right? What about sale number 3, sale number 4, sale number 5, sale number 6, sale number 7, sale number 8? What would they have to do? They'd have to qualify, right? So what would each one of those individuals have to do? because you are now the only qualified affiliate. Each one of those brand new sales would have to refer their first sale to you. So underneath number 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever number you wish to use, a brand new sale will come in underneath. Now, if you notice, you're the captain of the ship. You're heading the affiliate team. These brand new first sales are falling into your pay structure. So sale number 2 brings in their first sale. You make $300. Why? Because that person is being passed to you. Now watch this. This is where it gets really powerful, complex and simple at the same time. Sale number 2 generated their first sale. You made $300. Sale number 2 qualified. They can go out and start their own group of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sales. Okay? They're done. You're not worried about them anymore. Now, the first sale that sale number 2 brought in, they're going to be giving you their first sale. Okay? And now they're qualified. Now, that sale is going to be giving you their first sale. Now they're qualified. And that sale is going to be giving you their first sale. And now they're qualified. So if you see what's happening here, all these first sales visually going down, although it's really not like that. It's a direct retail transaction between you and another party. But for illustration purposes only, all these brand new first sales going down, 1, referring 1, referring 1, referring 1, referring 1, all that goes to you. Everybody to eternity owes you their first sale. The third pay line replicates exactly the same way. The third person that you made the sale to, they give you their first sale. That person gives you their first sale. That person gives you their first sale. That person gives you their first sale, all the way to infinity so they can qualify. Remember sale number 4 you made? 5, 6, 7, 8. These same individuals will all refer their first, refer their first, refer their first, refer their first. You're getting all the first referrals from here to eternity, driving it deep visually, but in actuality, just making a direct retail transaction between you and another party. No MLM, no downlines, but on a visual scale, we had to show it this way so you can understand it. So if you had 1,000 people that were referred to you or came in through this one-up concept, you might not even know 95% of them. But the referrals, you would make 300 times 1,000 people in total equals $300,000. Isn't that amazing? And you're not really out there recruiting or sponsoring. You're building a direct retail business and you're getting referrals along the way. So at $399, $99 going to admin, $300 going to the sponsor, I think you're going to be laughing all the way to the bank. So that's my rendition of a one-up. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And you have yourself a wonderful day.
Thanks, Steph, and thank you, Val, for an awesome presentation tonight. And you know, folks, this really is simple stuff. It's really simple stuff. It's all about developing that entrepreneurial leadership. We are your biggest cheerleaders. And, you know, it really is about you just becoming your own celebrity. We've got the platform for you. We've got everything here for you. We've got the community of leadership. We've got all the training. This is the place that you want to be able to hone your skills. Take what you've got here, listen to the training, listen to the leadership, and practice, practice, practice. You need to apply yourself and get out there, and you're not going to get to that leadership level until you get to be visible. And I want to congratulate all the people that came on this Zoom with us here tonight, and they have their videos on here, so we have a chance to interact personally. That's really important. That's the first step to becoming visible. Now put your voice to that, go out, do your videos, and get people to get to know who you are. And folks, we're going to have such a great run with this, and because of all of you. It's generic, it's personal, but it is all about you. So come join us on our next presentation, Mentoring Millionaires Live. Have a great night. Thanks, everyone.